Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Morning Java. I'm CT. He's Dodd.
What up?
I'm just really feeling it this Saturday. I don't know why.
Well, that's good.
Maybe it's because there's no sun. I'm not hot. I'm not sweaty. It was nice and cool when I walked in the studio to prep everything. So that's probably why. So be it, right?
Makes sense to me.
Makes sense to me, too. Yeah, anyhow, good morning, everybody, and welcome. That's all I got. That's all I got. I don't know.
Great. Welcome to the party.
Broadcasting live from the Traveling East Productions studio. It's Morning Java.
Yes, it is.
Tell them what they've won, Johnny. A big pile of crap. That's what they've won.
That's what you won. It's what you asked for, and it's what you got.
So, of course, broadcasting live on the Traveling East Productions Rumble channel, the Traveling East Productions YouTube channel, and unfortunately, Facebook is being stupid, so it is not on Facebook this morning. But here in a minute, when Dodd starts talking, I will share the YouTube feed over to the Facebook. So, that'll work.
That's exciting.
And also broadcasting live onto KYRO, 1280 AM, 105.3 FM. Greetings to all of you listeners over there. And then later on, rebroadcasted on, I believe it's Wednesday morning at like 10 o'clock, something like that, on headbangersradio.com. So hello to all of our friends over at Headbangers Radio when you hear this.
So lots of places and lots of people have the ability to listen. That's fun.
I mean, if you're going to be accessible, then make yourself damned accessible.
No kidding. I mean, that's
accessible, right?
Pretty much. You have
you have no excuse not to follow this program and listen to the words that are coming out of our mouths.
Very, very solid.
Yeah. So that was my Kennedy impression. How was that?
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was,
I don't know. I'm not an impressionist. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was really something.
Something really crappy, but
well, it was something.
Okay, it was something. So that's all I'm going to get. I'll take it. It was. I'll
tell you what. I'm going to keep talking. Why don't you do your Jim Hoffa impersonation?
My what?
Your Hoffa.
Oh, dude.
Yeah,
like the pre-disappearance or just the disappearance?
No, the post-disappearance impersonation.
Wow. So you want me to lay in a compact, 2x3 compact car when they crush the car?
And then we'll bury it in concrete under a stadium.
It's funny how many stories have come out about that. Like how many, you see gangsters talk about it all the time, like, oh, I'm a former hitman and I know what they did and they did this and they did that and he got into this, Lincoln or Cadillac or whatever it is, and he never left it. And,
it's the weirdest story ever.
But you should really, folks, you should really dive down that hole sometime on Jimmy Hoffa and the reasonings behind his disappearance. It's an incredible story. It's a good read. It's a good read.
It's something.
Yeah, back when the mob was the mob.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anywho, excuse me. So, how's things? Good?
So far, they've been pretty good this week. I mean, it's been nice. We started out hot. Good grief, dude. That storm, did you get the storm in Winsville yesterday? Where it just came through and it brought wind. It was like a hairdryer, and then all of a sudden the sky opened and No,
we did not. It was quite
toasty, warm, and hot.
It sprinkled, but that's it.
Oh.
I didn't get anything, and even when I got to Troy, I didn't get anything. Well, as soon as I got to Troy and sat in the driveway, then it came down. Like before I could get out of the truck, like you couldn't wait another 5 minutes for me to get out of the truck and get in the house. No, you had to dump the minute that I turned the truck off to go inside.
I mean, that is normally the way it works, right?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Whatever.
That's good stuff.
I don't know. So
Well, it was nice once it started. After the rain ended in Winfield yesterday, it really brought things down, made it feel a whole lot better outside because it had been just cooking for days, which was just annoying. I was very done with it.
it was sure nice to have the coolness. That's a fact.
Right now in Winfield, Missouri, it's feeling like it's about 70 degrees outside. If you were curious what the morning's like for you, got some heavy precipitation kind of going on. Looks like we're going to get up to, what do we got here, like 82 for the day. That's going to be your high, and we don't hit that till 3 p.m. and then starts cooling right back off. Pretty nice morning. Stays relatively cool for most of the morning. Doesn't hit 80 degrees until 2 p.m., so that's kind of a peak for your today. Tomorrow, high of 86, down to 56 on Sunday night. How about that? That will lead to that nice, cool stuff. Then again on Monday, we've got a high of 79, down to 56 again at night. Tuesday, 79 and 59. Oh, yeah, this is going to be a great upcoming week. We don't have rain again really scheduled until Friday.
Ugh.
But for the rest of the week, it's going to be in the 80s, so it's going to be a really nice week for you in the greater Party Down Winfield area, which I suppose is positive. If you don't like to sweat nonstop. Now remember, it's Saturday, and our friends over at Elliott Flooring, they're open today on Saturday, so if you want to go over there and go check them out, you can go over to Elliott Flooring at 406 South Lincoln Drive in Troy. Go over there and see them. Go talk to Ken and his crew and find out about the greatest floor coverings and whatever it is that you want. Check them out on Facebook at Elliott Flooring and go look at what the coolest floorings are they have. Carpet, linoleum, vinyl, tile, all kinds of cool stuff. Remember, they also do counters and backsplashes. And they can really make your kitchen look fantastic. They can make your house look fantastic. But you only will find out if you go to them and skip the big stupid box stores. Go over and visit Elliott Flooring in Troy, 406 South Lincoln Drive. They're open until 2 o'clock on Saturdays. You can call them today at 636-528-6334. And go over, take Ken a candle, and tell him you knew he was thirsty.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed. Indeed.
It'll make everything better.
Anything really cool happening over at the gun shop this weekend? You got anything planned?
Well, I got to be honest with you, not really.
No.
Well, I've seen this trend in Lincoln County businesses for the weekend.
Yeah.
And it appears that most of them excuse me, it is still early for some of us. Anyway, a lot of these businesses have decided that they're taking like multi-day weekends and holidays and, it's Labor Day, blah, 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 blah. Well, good for you. That's nice. Yeah, I'm not doing that. Why don't you come by and see me on Saturday? Come see me on Sunday. And if business is good, I'll be open on Monday. Yeah, when everybody else is closed and they're, running around pretending like unions made them have the perfect weekend. Well, yeah, cool. Good for you. This is what we call the free market. Be open what days I want. So why don't you come by and spend some of your dollars and let's get you hooked up with some stuff. I got night crawlers in yesterday.
Oh, good.
Brand new ones.
Okay,
so
good.
I have 100 dozen night crawlers. If you want to get some fishing done this weekend, they are big, plump, giant, juicy night crawlers.
This is good weather for it, too, right now.
Oh, yeah.
Like, come down there today and get some because it's this is perfect weather.
Yeah. Come on down and come get it. I've got a bunch of shotgun shells in. Dove season opens, tomorrow? It's tomorrow the 1st?
Yes.
Dove season opens tomorrow. I've got 12 or 20 gauge shotguns and shotgun shells all sitting there, ready to go for you. So come on down. Come get the stuff you need. You want a new shotgun? Come down. I got tons of them.
Yeah.
Whatever kind you want.
Yeah.
And let's get you fixed up. Let's get you loaded up. because, 203 Main Street, Winfield. It's going to be cool. You can call 636-358-0992. Be sure to find us on Facebook at Black Flag Outfitters, and I will post some dove hunting special deals for today.
There is some really nice shotguns in there.
Yeah, there is.
I mean, if I were you, be sure and go to Facebook and follow Black Flag Outfitters because here's what happens. You can't post anything on Facebook regarding guns.
Nope.
Okay, weapons. So what you'll see is if you just follow the page, go on there and he will post a picture. Okay? If you see the picture of a gun on there, then that is the special for the day. All you got to do is message.
Yep.
Message the store or call, and he'll give you all the information you need to know. But a better idea, don't message or call. Just go down there.
Just come see me.
And
It's
bring,
way more fun
and bring
that
coffee.
Hey, whatever you got to bring. Look, there are discounts depending what kind of things you bring, and there's discounts if I like you.
Cash preferred.
Definitely, especially on used stuff. No question about it. Boom. Oh, and don't forget to bring your driver's license. We're having this problem lately. People keep forgetting to bring their driver's license. I have to have the driver's license to confirm your background check. Remember to bring your driver's license.
'Tis true.
Just trying to save you time from running home.
'Tis true. 'Tis true. So
Yeah, man.
diving in.
Oh, I love
because
diving.
we have
Soup? Coffee?
ooh. No.
Oh.
Did you do any good cooking this week? Because I didn't.
I did not. Now, I will say, now, listen, they are not a sponsor. But I had something amazing this week, man.
Tell me.
If you have never been to Lucky House of Sushi in St. Peter's, it's over by the Reese store right on Mid River Small Drive. There is this very nice lady who pretty much runs it by herself. And her sushi rolls are like reasonably priced, but she also does like full Chinese food too. So if sushi's not your thing, but she has the most delightful crab ragoons ever because they are not sweet, they're savory. They're the way remember back in the day, crab ragoons were never sweet?
No, they weren't.
Okay, she still goes old school with them. Not sweet and sugary and gross.
I think the last one I had that was at least close to proper was the ones that we had over there in Wentzville.
At that buffet over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which we haven't been there for a while. We need to go back over
No, we
there.
haven't been there in a long time.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Crab rangoons are not supposed to be sweet,
No.
folks.
No, they're to be savory. So, if you're thinking, hey, I need some of this, check out the House of Luck Sushi, or Lucky Sushi, depending how you Google it. It's easy, it's fun, and the lady's really sweet that owns it. It's like somebody's grandma who owns it, and it's really cool. And it was not expensive. It was like $6 for most rolls, dude.
So is this a Chinese place that looks like it's owned by Chinese, but it's a bunch of Mexicans in the back actually cooking?
No, there's just one Chinese lady who's there. That's it. She cooks everything, she fries everything, she rolls the sushi rolls, she does it all.
How does she do it all?
She is fast.
Well, years and years and years of tradition, I guess.
Yeah, like she is really.
And that's, you know what? There's something to be.
And she always.
I always try to say that tradition. I say that tradition is just peer pressure from dead people.
It is.
But there are times where tradition is key to, being right.
You know what makes me always go back there? She always says thank you. Like when you buy food from her.
So, like, you feel like you're appreciated for being there? Really?
Yes.
Wow, isn't that something
And if
new?
you eat it there, she comes out several times and she'll be like, hey, can I get you anything else? Do you need... I always do water with sushi, and she always keeps the water full. I know it sounds dumb, but I'm like, yes, thank you.
I usually do water at restaurants anyways.
Yeah. And they have a miso soup, which is fantastic.
You're like miso is your go-to.
I love miso.
Yeah, I can't do the texture of that fake freaking, what do you call it? What's tofu?
Yes.
Ugh.
Which is always going to be in miso soup. It's
I know. That's why I can't.
Yeah.
because I can't tofu. Just the texture of tofu. I don't know. I don't know why.
It's not a thing. I don't like it any other way, but if you put a little tiny square of it in my miso, it's okay. I don't mind.
Maybe I'll try the miso, but it's just for some reason tofu just I don't know if it's I don't know.
So I make a beef miso.
Yeah,
You would dig that.
I might try that one of these days.
Yeah. Okay, I'm done. That's what I had there.
The only thing I did was I ran out of charcoal,
What?
so I couldn't grill my ribeye, and it was the only thing that I had thawed out.
Oh no.
But I did have Parmesan.
You burnt the Parmesan to make the charcoal?
No,
Oh, okay.
no. So I broiled the steak.
Okay.
I put it. I of course, same thing I always do. Sprayed it, or no, this time I oiled it and put steak and prime rib on it from in bold from
Smoking butts.
Smoking Butts, and then I broiled it. Okay,
Okay.
pulled it out, sprayed it with duck fat, doused it with Parmesan, slapped it in the oil in the cast iron pot for a couple of minutes just to crust it. So I had a Parmesan encrusted ribeye,
Okay.
and I was still able to keep it medium rare.
All right. I can get behind that.
And for impromptu, realizing I didn't have any charcoal, not bad. But what it did tell me is that I have to go ahead and break down when I get my my Christmas bonus.
Yeah.
And homeboy's getting a Traeger. I'm done with this crap. I want my Traeger pellet smoker grill, and it's going to happen. Because enough is enough. I'm still going to have my charcoal, but I'm done.
So I'm going to tell you the secret. Next week everybody will have the charcoal marked down
Well, that's true.
because Walmart gets it by the pallet, and then they mark it down at the end of the season. Typically, it's half off per bag.
Yeah, then I can just get several bags and just keep it.
That way you've got enough to go through the winter.
Well, I don't know about that.
Well, yeah, I'll make it till February.
I tell you what's nice is I broke down and I bought, and I've never had one in my life, okay? But the charcoal chute,
Yeah.
the metal charcoal chute, you put your to prep it and everything.
Yeah, you put it in there and it heats it up.
I have never used those in my entire life.
You always build a pyramid.
I always built the pyramid.
Yeah.
And I saw it. I kept seeing it in these videos from the Barbecue Pit Boys and all those.
Uh-huh.
Because I do watch those. And I broke down and I bought one. I saw it at Walmart and I was like, forget it. I'm just going to get one.
Yeah.
I'm going to try it. Yeah.
Like that.
It worked really well. I was really impressed.
So, here's my terrible confession about grilling things. I don't use charcoal.
Use the wood?
I just use wood to grill.
Yeah.
But
I will do that if I'm doing it just like if I'm going to pre-cook a bunch of stuff like hamburgers or sausage patties or something, because I love to grill sausage patties.
Yeah.
That's an amazing flavor. If
Yes,
if you've never grilled your breakfast sausage, you're really missing out on something.
You are.
Because that fire grilled sausage is amazing flavor.
Yeah.
Especially if you get a really good, and I don't care. You could buy Jimmy Dean for all I care and grill it. Amazing flavor. That smoke really adds to it. But anyways, I digress. I'll use wood for that, but if I'm doing it just for me, because of course I live alone, so most of the time I'm just throwing a steak on the grill.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's why I want to get the Traeger, because then I can just do, and the different flavored pellets and stuff for the smoke is just amazing.
Yeah, it is.
And Traeger's really a good brand. So And getting close to Christmas, it's going to be on sale. So what the heck, you know?
Fair enough.
Let's do it. Rock and roll. Frank Partle, love our Traeger. Hey, Frank, good morning. Oh, Sarge over there, too. Good morning, Sarge. Good to see you, buddy. Of course, you can watch Sarge tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. for Uncensored Wrestling Talk, broadcasted by us visually from the KYRO studios. What is it, Gateway Fiber Studio?
Gateway Fiber Studios.
Yep. So, anyhow,
Indeed.
Yeah. So, there's this fella.
Oh, no.
Named Jeff Walls.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Who happens to be the brother of your Democratic VP nominee that was never nominated.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyhow, he's the brother, and he has gone publicly and stated that his brother is not the type of character that you want making decisions about your future. He hasn't talked to his brother in 8 years. He says that he could tell stories that would make you curl. And I'm kind of wanting him to tell those stories. People are pushing him to go endorse Trump. And he says he's been thinking about it, but he doesn't know if he really wants to throw the family into the media scrum. You know what I mean? But I'm thinking to myself, well, there are sacrifices that has to be made in the name of liberty. And if your brother is as bad as you say that he is, then you're just going to have to suck it up and do it. So when your own brother doesn't want anything to do with you for 8 years and has stories to tell and says that you're unfit and shouldn't be leading and making decisions, then sounds to me like there's a story to be told there that should come out, don't you think?
I would say so.
I mean, how would you feel if your own brother hadn't talked to you for 8 years and went out and said, well, Dodd is a piece of crap and shouldn't be making decisions, you know?
Yep.
So, you know what I'm saying? So my words to Mr. Walls would be, do it. Just do it. Your family will survive no matter what you do. And believe me, if you do that and you get on a national stage and you endorse Trump against your brother, your own brother, that's going to be very powerful, for one thing, and you will have the protection of Donald Trump. I have a feeling that he'll take care of you. You know?
Walls sounds like a real mess.
Well, the more stuff that comes out, the better. Jeff is actually, in the article that I read, he actually donated to the Trump campaign. So there's that.
Did you watch any of the CNN interview?
I did. Yeah, that was quite crazy.
That was bad. Like, even CNN cooked Kamala.
Well, it's funny to watch them actually turn, and I think what was it, ABC or one of the others did the same thing, actually acknowledged what a crappy job she did and turned on her. And
what I thought was so interesting is when the fracking question came up.
Yes.
And Kamala gave a response about how, no, I've never been against fracking, blah, blah, blah. And then they're like, well, here's the clip from 2019.
Yeah.
And then all she did is turned around and said the exact same answer, which is, I've never been against fracking. And you're like, we just watched you talk about how on day one you're going to end it.
Yeah.
And she's like, yes. Even after seeing the clip, she's like, I've never been against fracking. What?
Yeah.
You're insane. I just want people to laugh at my memes. The way Kamala laughs when somebody asks her a question she doesn't know.
No, because I never want to hear that laugh again. That is the most annoying laugh.
It's really bad.
That's almost as annoying as sitting in a print shop all day long listening to Nathan laugh at himself.
That one I can handle.
I can handle that more than I can.
Oh, I can't handle Kamala.
Well, that laugh is just so, it's like a cackling witch. You know, it's just the weirdest, most fake laugh.
Oh, it's so bad.
And it's just annoying. She's annoying.
She is annoying.
That whole administration is annoying, my friend.
Well, somehow I knew you were going to go there.
Oh?
Well, we hadn't said the whole administration was annoying yet today, so I knew we'd get there eventually.
But I'm not lying.
No.
So, did you see what was going on with Elon in Brazil?
Yeah, let's talk about that. That's pretty cool.
Mr. Whoopity-Doo over in Brazil has decided to ban X or Twitter, whatever the heck you want to call it these days.
Yeah.
And you see Brazil going further and further into this whole socialistic, dominant, totalitarian, you know what I mean, regime.
Yep.
And it's gone so far as to he's going to fine citizens who are using VPNs to access Twitter.
Yep.
From the article that I read. Additions?
That is what I saw as well.
And Elon Musk is warning Americans, you know, and again, this goes towards your First Amendment rights.
And what he's saying is, if you don't think they're going to do it here, wake up.
Just wait. And this is the administration to do it.
Yeah.
Especially if we get 4 years of Kamala and Walls, it's done.
Without a doubt.
It was supposed to have already been done. It was supposed to have been done, but Trump threw a cog in their wheel. Because it was supposed to be 8 years of Obama, and then you were supposed to get 8 years of Clinton, of Hillary.
Ugh.
And Hillary was supposed to bring us into that. But Donald J. Trump threw a cog in their wheel by getting elected for 4 years.
Yeah,
and
big time.
It screwed up their plan. Their plan was, if you notice, through that whole 8 years of Obama, it was all a setup to bring us into this trust the government, rely on the government.
Yes.
Building the social programs to make you lazy and not want to work. Here's your free cell phones. Here's your free this. Here's your free that. It's government funded, which is the biggest lie that there is, because no such thing is government funded. That does not exist.
No.
You funded it as a taxpayer.
That is correct.
So then that moved us into that, and it gave us that. And then in order for us to divert our attention from what they were doing, Obama managed to widen the rift between the classes.
Uh-huh.
And then in that, then Donald Trump came in and screwed up the whole plan.
Oh, yeah.
Because Hillary was supposed to go ahead and take us into that era of, well, basically what Brazil's doing right now.
Yes.
It would have shut, your guns would be gone, your First Amendment right would be gone, everything would be gone, and you would be completely reliant on the government standing in a freaking bread line.
Basically, and that is realistically, I believe, the end goal here.
Because what do you think Kamala's plan is with basically control over product production and pricing? That's exactly how it happens, right there. That is a key element.
Yes.
When the government controls the price of a product and the production of a product, government has complete control of not just those products, but that gives them complete control of the economy.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
No real question about it. I mean, we keep seeing these different things, but as we look further into Brazil, if you notice, there was an article on the Gateway Pundit about microprocessors this week. Did you happen to read the whole?
I didn't see that one.
Oh, there's a whole article about U.S. involvement in Brazilian elections involving the CIA, microprocessors, and voting machines.
Yeah.
Congrats. They flipped an election in Brazil. Good job. And there's this whole battle now going on that we talked about between X and several foreign countries. Now, Elon doesn't care. You can tell he doesn't care what they want to attempt to bring. But you can see how much of a threat free speech is to these radical dictators, to the hard left. Free speech is the most dangerous thing to them whatsoever.
What they did by doing that was you helped create the end of free speech and the beginning of political persecution in Brazil.
Oh, yeah.
Which makes Brazil an ally of not just the Biden administration, but the Harris cult that's happening right now.
Yep.
And when you, and that's what they're doing. They're trying to build, which you're going to add to that also up north, our good buddy Trudeau up there into the mix, and probably half of Mexico. Because if you also look, another thing that happened was the Biden administration has continued, they have resumed or continued the flying illegal immigrants into the United States. 347,959 of them were flown into Texas and Florida so far.
Yeah.
All taxpayer funded. You, the taxpayer, funded this. Now, what does that do? Okay, if you remember last week, we talked about all of those ballots that were thrown out, almost 1 million ballots, 500,000 or something like that we talked about. What that also does is, which brings me into our next topic here, because one of the biggest things happening right now is, there was a complaint filed, I believe it was, because this is a big story. Okay, so apparently, this was filed on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. U.S. District Court in Maryland. Okay. Apparently, they presented evidence that the Postal Service, that your United States Post Office, had shipped at least 1 million mail-in ballots from a facility in Bethpage, New York. Now, here's the thing about that facility. That facility is not supposed to be, it's set up. What's the words they used? I need to find it real quick before I say something. Okay, that's certified for handling packages and express mail. There is no legal justification for all of those ballots to have been passed through that warehouse. It is not set up for that. There was 20 Gaylord boxes. Each Gaylord box holds from 50 to 100,000 ballots, and there was 20 of them.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. So that's at least 1 million mail-in ballots that were already filled in with signatures on the envelopes. Now, those are first-class mail. That facility does not handle first-class mail. It's not rated for first-class mail. There was no legal reason for those ballots to have come out of that facility whatsoever.
Uh-huh. Weird.
And let me tell you again, let me just say it one more time. Where did this go? Pennsylvania.
Strange.
These were passed on October 21st of 2020. Now tell me again how it's a conspiracy theory,
If it's true.
if it's true, that election was rigged. Tell me again that election wasn't robbed.
Oh, it was.
One more time. There's 1 million ballots right there, possibly. 20 Gaylord boxes, each of them holding 50 to 100,000 ballots. Pre-signed and everything.
Strange. It makes you wonder where they are this time. Because it's not like the plan didn't work, you're not going to do it again.
On top of that, the Pennsylvania court is also, again in Pennsylvania,
Yeah.
freaking Pennsylvania, guys,
Uh-huh.
is forcing counties to validate ballots that are missing or have incorrect dates on the return envelopes.
No, 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 no.
They are really pushing. And then on top of that, a judge in Arkansas appointed by Barack Obama, oops, I just hit my microphone, appointed by Barack Obama, has ordered and ruled that election officials cannot reject online voter registration signed with electronic signatures.
Yeah.
Now, I brought all of that up about this going on right now. That's just this week that this came in. Just this
And that's
week.
only what you know of.
That's just what you know of. So I brought all that up to bring it right back to the original conversation that I just said, or the original story, which was about them flying in all these illegal immigrants. Because guess what? They're all voting Democrat. Every single one of them.
Well, and
whether they know it or not.
And the biggest part is, you know, if you read through the article, and of course you can go read that article for yourself. It's on the gatewaypundit.com. And it's, I believe it was originally posted in One America. Anyway, you can go check that one out. One of the things it also talks about is most of them were flown into Houston and into Florida.
Yes.
And the reason is to turn those states blue. Because that is the goal, because those are solid red states.
Those two states are very key states in the Electoral College. They hold almost as many electoral votes as California does.
Correct.
Those are important states. Now, historically red, this is the type of thing that turns them blue.
Well, remember, Florida was weird, though, for a while.
Well, remember the Miami-Dade, you had all that crap, but yeah.
Because what you had in Florida is you had a whole lot of people from the Northeast retire and move to Florida, and they would really jack around with that base of Florida. Now, mind you, the Panhandle has always been on the conservative side, but the Miami County and Orlando in that area.
You have a lot of the retirees that are...
Yeah, those are some pretty blue areas. But in the last couple elections, we've seen it turn redder and redder in Florida. The biggest problem Florida faces, the same problem with Texas faces, is that they've been a place for, hey, come here, things are great here. But what happens is the lefties come down and screw the state. And that's kind of where you're at. Now they're just influxing piles and piles and piles of illegal voters, which they know are going to vote on that hard blue, even if they don't know it. Speaking of sanctuary cities. Since, you know, that's up in the news, but nobody wants to talk about it. Let's go to Colorado.
Do I have to?
Oh, we do.
I mean, I love the state. Don't get me wrong, but
Denver is a super duper sanctuary city.
yes,
All right. Well, apparently the Venezuelans, which have all come to Colorado, Denver in particular, have moved their way out to the suburb of Aurora. They have now taken over multiple apartment buildings and are now extorting the rent from the people who live there.
yes.
And the city, in turn, says that's not real. It's not happening.
But I have seen the videos from tenants
Right.
who are like, "We're out of here."
Yeah.
But
We've
I
watched.
got some news for you.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. Let me add to this a little bit because, I lived just west of Aurora, out in Bennett, Colorado. Aurora was always a crap hole, and it has been. And this was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
It's always been a crap hole. It's always been immigrant. It's always been basically inner city light.
Yeah. But I'm guessing it wasn't ruled by Venezuelan street gangs.
Not at the time.
Okay.
But what I'm saying to that is it was always primed for it. And if you were living in Aurora and you made your homestead in Aurora 20 years ago, up to this point, you knew it was coming. You had
Nice.
20 years to do something about it.
Nice.
That's all I'm saying.
I thought it was interesting that the primary media sources are saying it's not real. The governor is saying it's not real. The city council is saying it's not real. However, there's been interviews of residents
Yes.
and cops who are
Yes.
saying, yes, it's real.
Yes. There's shootings. There's all kinds of stuff happening within these complexes.
Apparently, they've broken into 20 plus gun stores and cleaned them out.
Yeah.
They are hitting jewelry stores in the middle of the day. Like, they're not even trying to hide when they're doing it. They're doing it in the middle of the day because they know nobody's going to do a thing about it. I thought it was interesting. I was like, whoa, how's that sanctuary city working out for you there, bud?
Well, Denver itself is a crap hole.
It is.
It really is. It's been that way for a long time, though. This is nothing new.
No.
Any of this, the immigrant problem is nothing new in Denver.
Denver's...
I would never, ever, ever live in Denver. If I was to live in a larger city in Colorado, I'm heading up to Colorado Springs area, something like that.
Yeah.
Me personally, my favorite is Estes Park and the mountain town. That's where I would go. I got no use for Denver at all. None. It holds no... I'd rather be out in the farmland.
The only thing that I found interesting about Denver when I was there is I was in Denver early in the morning, like before people woke up. The way Denver sits with the sun, the way the sunrise hits Denver, it's pretty cool.
I'll give you that.
Now, you can keep Denver the whole rest of the day, but at 4:30 in the morning, 5 o'clock when nobody is there, it's pretty awesome.
Well, look, my two reasons for going to Denver in any way, shape, or form are gone now. Elitch Gardens is gone, and Casa Bonita is gone. So I have no reason to go to Denver whatsoever.
That's fair. That's fair.
You ever been to Casa Bonita?
No.
Dude.
Mm.
Oh, what a fantastic ride that is. Okay, so this whole restaurant
Yeah.
is just a carnival show, dude. It's a Mexican carnival show. It's amazing. It's like you're walking through this cave and there's tables and you're in this whole inside this whole big large cave and there's rooms with tables and stuff to eat in and everything. They have cliff diving in there, dude.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Cliff diving.
Okay, I can see why that's, yeah.
It's like this. They turned it into this. It's burned now. It's gone. It caught on fire, burned down. But man, it was so fun.
I bet it was.
It was an experience. Like they turned a meal into an experience. It was fun. It was so fun. And of course, the old Edith Gardens was so fun. Amusement park that was there, but that's gone now too. So I have no reason to go to Denver whatsoever. Well, unless I want to go see Rocky Mountain Wrestling, but that's about it.
I don't even know what that is, but okay.
Yeah, just a wrestling promotion up there.
I could assume.
You know me. I'm into independent wrestling promotions. So, yeah. Anyhow, wow, we went off. All right. So, anyways, moral of the story: Denver's a crap hole. Aurora's a crap hole. Don't go.
Mm-hmm.
And don't vote blue. There you go. That's the moral of the whole story. Phew. What else? Oh. So apparently the court said that Let's Go Brandon can be censored by the school. Did you see that one?
No, how does that not fall into the First Amendment?
Again, that's what seems to be the key today is First Amendment and your in voter ID. You know, that's the big thing this week.
So how did they rule that one?
I didn't have a chance to really get into the story, but I'll take a look at it. So, this originally it came out on WND.com.
Okay.
That basically there was a constitutional expert that said that this is a dangerous precedent to set. A federal court ruling allowed a school to censor, quote unquote, Let's Go Brandon.
Okay.
Which means that they're preventing students from wearing the any shirt or anything that has that meme on it of any shape or form. And this constitutional expert says that that's in court and cited, I guess, a case of a DA in Michigan where a student was ordered to remove his sweater that had that phrase on it. So this was a decision that was made by a judge by the name of Paul Maloney.
Okay.
Who rejects the free speech claim and rules that the school officials can punish a student for wearing a Let's Go Brandon t-shirt. Because I guess the slogan is, quote unquote, a familiar political battle cry, not just against Biden, but also against the bias of the media. So, yeah.
Wow.
There was an interview, I guess, on NBC where Kelly Stavast's questions were drowned out by a loud and clear chant of F Joe Biden.
Yeah, that was
right?
at the NASCAR race.
Yes, that's exactly what, yes.
Yes.
The Xfinity Series race. Brandon Brown was the car driver.
Yeah, and it was the news media chick
and
who actually coined the phrase.
Yes, she said, "You can hear the chants from the crowd. Let's go, Brandon." That's what started it.
And
she was trying to cover up for
and the driver laughs.
Yes,
that's one of the funniest interviews.
Yes, that's where it all started. So in this case, there was several school officials. Well, two of them, an Andrew Bukema and a Wendy Bradford, who ordered several of the boys to remove the slogan. Now, they considered it profane and blah, 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 and so on and so forth. So in other words, that's where this all stems from.
Which is very interesting in of itself that you would rule that way, because the Supreme Court has actually ruled that profanity is protected speech. So, yeah, that's going to be a fun one.
'Tis what it is, my friends.
Exactly. On the more interesting, you know that place that if you plant a seed, it sprouts up? It's a store. What's it called?
Which one? Because there's a couple.
Dollar General.
Dollar
where
General,
they sprout up everywhere.
Yeah.
No, if you happen to see, Dollar General suffers the worst day on record.
Yes.
Their CEO warns.
Their stock went down.
Poor customers are now running out of money, he says. Dollar General suffered a record one-day drop in the company's stock, and it was a warning of struggling U.S. customers. The Thursday trending day marked a slaughter for Dollar General, seeing its stock drop by the eye-wielding 32.1%. Their CEO says it's because Dollar General focuses to a lower income-based customer, and they are now broke.
What did you expect when a war on the poor and a war on the middle class? Because here's what happened to Dollar General, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Dollar General went from catering to poor, basically, to catering to the middle class, because the middle class cannot... The middle class the middle class became the poor, basically.
Correct.
I guess is what I'm trying to say. And now that the middle class can't afford it, what did you expect to happen? What?
I got nothing.
It's the administration. The war on the middle class, making us all poorer, cost of goods,
Wasn't that how you get
prices going up.
Well, isn't that the equality they were talking about? Everybody's equally poor? Everybody's included in their equally poorness?
Yes.
Interesting. And strange. But I'm not really surprised.
No. Not even to a little break. So,
Excellent.
off. Bye.
Goodbye.
And there they go. So I'm glad I looked over it in time. As we continue our little trek here, coming up here at the first about 10:06 or so, we'll be joined by our buddy Phil Mallon up north. We'll hear what's happening on in the regime of Trudeau and all of that stuff and such happening.
Well, that should be lots of fun.
So I can't wait for that. Yeah.
That's always good stuff.
It is. It really is. Hold on. I'm getting... Apparently there was a double feed happening for some reason.
Oh. Assume you fixed it.
I don't know. I will hear...
Very fun.
I don't know. I have to ask John, but anyway, I'm not really sure. Let's see. Anyhow, so yeah, what else is happening? I just keep going back to that CNN interview, really, to be honest with, because that was the most I called Dodd last night and I said, dude, was that not the most fabulous thing you ever saw?
Oh, man. It was.
I don't know, but yeah, but anyways.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
So what's up with you folks out there? Anything, you folks out there in La La Land listening and watching?
Oh, here's that. Here was that. U.S. State Department funded the censorship ecosystem in Brazil to subvert Bolsonaro administration as the Biden regime sent CIA, DOD, and U.S. military officials to Brazil to interfere with election and election machines.
Huh. Sent them there, actually.
Yeah.
Well, they learned well in 2020
Oh,
how to do it, so why not send a crack team of professionals?
yeah.
So what makes Brazil important? What is it about Brazil that makes it
Natural
important?
resources of Brazil.
Okay. Okay.
Brazil is loaded with it. Big time.
Okay.
Yeah. And we want to play with Brazil because we want to make sure China doesn't play with Brazil.
Okay.
That's kind of the biggest.
I guess, but what is it, the natural resources? Because we know, here's the thing, oil rules the world.
It's not oil.
But I know, that's why I'm saying, what is it, though? Because we know oil is the biggest thing out there that rules the world.
Lithium and uranium.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. The other two super high-end things that you want.
Are we digging those huge holes there, too? For the
No,
lithium?
but we know it's in the ground, and whoever controls the country will eventually dig it. And we would prefer it's us, not China.
It makes complete sense.
Yeah. So it's just a matter of finding which puppet's going to do it for you. So you've got that. Did you happen to see the video of the, one of my favorite shotguns, the Sega 12? Did you see the video of the Russian soldiers shooting down the drones with a Sega 12?
No, I didn't.
Fantastic.
With a 12? Really?
Yeah, he hears them coming. He hops off his little thing. He can hear the drone. And then he just starts unloading at it until he hits it. It explodes, catches on fire, all kinds of other crap.
That's fantastic.
Because the, broke-ass Ukrainians are running around with drones with grenades on them. And it's creating a real problem.
Bonsai drones.
Yeah. So they had the old Sega 12 out. I was like, oh, I know that shotgun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
I'm like, well, now they've taken on the American sport of skeet shooting. Perfect.
That's a lot bigger than a clay though, but
Yeah.
I'm liking it.
And when it comes for you, it has a bomb attached. So if you hit it, you don't die. Makes you a much better shot. And then, do you happen to see the losing plan that old Zelensky's been carrying out? So, remember how there was this whole thing where they were talking about, oh, look, Ukraine has now pushed into Russian territory, blah, blah, blah. Remember that about a week ago?
Oh yeah.
Well, here's what happened. He's already short on troops. He's already short on munitions. He pulled them all from his main front line and put them into that offense to push into Russia.
Okay, all you're going to do with that is allow Russia to come in behind you and trap you down.
All Russia had to do was
Done.
reinforce their area, and now they've already taken the area back. And now you're out all of that stuff.
That's fantastic.
And now you're hoping for more. Apparently, they put an F-16. The U.S. somehow gave them some F-16s to the Ukrainians. Yeah, one's already been shot down. They already got smoked. I was like, whoa. That's interesting because even the U.S. hasn't really lost that many 16s over the years, and you guys have had them for like a month and you already lost one? Okay.
Well,
The 16 that was designed specifically to go up against the MiG? Really? Good job, guys.
well.
You suck.
You suck. Well, with that, a happy good morning to our friend up north. Good morning, Mr. Phil. How are you, sir?
Good morning, everyone. I'm doing well, and what about you guys?
Fair to partly cloudy.
Yeah, about the same here. And that been an interesting week here.
Talk about it.
Uh,
Tell us.
Was it this week? Justin Trudeau's Liberal caucus were doing a retreat in Halifax, Nova Scotia, and some interesting things came out. Apparently, Justin Trudeau's now coming out saying that all of a sudden they have all this free land, federal land with buildings on it that they're going to turn around and turn into housing and apartments for people, affordable housing and that. And that's just interesting how this is coming out now. And also this week, Justin Trudeau has announced that going to be putting 100% tariffs on electric vehicles from China. And was it soft metal tariffs too, like aluminum and all that coming from China? So it makes me wonder why he's doing that, because I thought he was friends with, China and that. So it's just interesting how that's happening. And then also he announced this week they're now going to refuse foreign workers into Canada and foreign students too. They're going to reduce the amount of foreign students that are coming here. And I'm just waiting to see. To me, I seem to feel that it's more of a deception. It's going to create a lot of protests happening soon, I think, with these foreign students. And if you look at some of these foreign students, they're all mostly males, and they're at the right age to be military, if you know what I mean.
Imagine that.
Well, that's weird.
And so we're just waiting to see, what happens. But, you don't always believe what you see, because why would Trudeau do a complete 360 on something like this unless there's another plan, unless it's just a distraction? Because he's, with all the things that's happening, he's a narcissist. And so why is he all of a sudden he's changing? The only thing I can think of is that his caucus has been pushing him, pressuring him, you better make changes or else we're going to vote you out as leader. And I think he's also fearing, because the pressure is getting stronger and stronger for an early election. And Jagmeet Singh, which is the leader of the NDP, who's in coalition with the Liberals, has been kind of quiet lately too, not saying too much, and he won't break the coalition until probably January of next year, because then Jagmeet is qualified to collect his government pension. And I guarantee you, as soon as he gets that government pension, then he's going to break the coalition. So if the earliest, it's going to probably be a spring election,
Interesting.
So we'll have to wait and see. But the government, I think, comes back to work within the next 2 weeks, and so we're going to wait and see what happens, because Pierre Poilievre, who's the leader, who's, I guess you could sort of say, our Canadian version of Donald Trump politics, and he's been speaking out and interviewing people on camera about what they think of the taxes and everything, and how people are suffering. And Trudeau, I guess he's getting a bit ticked off with all that, so he's got to try and do something to take the distraction of that away. So he came out all this week, and like every single day he had something to say, and what the government's going to do. Why all of a sudden he's had umpteen years to do all this stuff, and usually when he does these kind of things, he could be preparing for an election. Try and make himself look good, but a lot of people aren't buying it, period. And that, so
you see that last week Trump goes there, and he claims that in a new book the signs point to Fidel Castro being Justin Trudeau's long lost daddy.
Yeah.
We've
You
gone over
haven't,
that story. I don't know how many times. Yeah, without a
and
doubt.
honestly, haven't heard any denial from Justin Trudeau about it. Or anyone else, or any family members like Justin's mom, Margaret Trudeau.
Well, we know
Which,
that she spent time.
yeah, and like she was a wild one too. She used to spend a lot of time when she was married to Pierre Trudeau, Justin's dad or stepdad or whatever you want to call it. She used to party a lot at Studio 54 in New York, and she, she pretty much slept with all the Rolling Stones and
Who didn't party
any.
at 54?
I know,
Hmm.
and any other celebrities. Like she was. Yeah, I guess she was a Canadian version of Kamala.
Wow. Except she's old school. She didn't need knee pads.
No,
Ah,
no, no. And
it's
so,
such a
like,
fun story.
yeah, and it's interesting. Like I said, everyone's brought it up, and there has been no denial. Like even people said, "Well, if it isn't true, let's get a DNA test to prove it." Because you look at him, you look at Pierre Trudeau, and then you look at Justin. There is no resemblance, but you look at Justin and um, Castro.
Yeah. Well, look at
Like,
Castro at his age.
Yeah.
They look
yeah,
the same.
spitting image.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, so like everyone, all Canadians believe that he's the son of Castro. But that's about what's been going on. Oh, there is one other thing that's come out, but it
Yeah.
hasn't really quite made the media. Is one of Pierre Poilievre's members of the PC came out and said that apparently Liberals don't want anyone to know this, but they're trying to get rid of all regular brands like Tylenol and stuff like that in the stores, and forcing the stores to come out with their own brands. And that way, if that happens, the stores are going to probably increase their the prices of because you used to go into stores and like for example, like Target or whatever, say they had their own brand, it would still be a bit cheaper than
Hmm.
but you all know that it's still basically the same product, but they just slapped Target's
Well,
or Walmart's.
you look on the labels themselves, and it tells you where it came out. You'll see some of these brands for other stores like that, and you'll see, made at Del Monte or made it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's the same product,
yeah.
just in a different can, which tells you that they're overpricing their own stuff when you can get the same thing. Like
Yeah.
we'll go to Kroger here, and some of the Kroger brand stuff is just as good as the name brand.
Yeah, yeah. And so what's happening is that they're trying to force the stores more or less to have their own home brands instead of other brands, and they're talk that they want to increase the prices or whatever of like Tylenol. And like heck, you buy Tylenol now and say like we have a Shoppers Drug Mart, which is a chain of drugstores or whatever, and to get a bottle of Tylenol, like a 150 bottle of extra strength Tylenol, they're charging over $20 for that now. And and like so
I think it's what
they're
$24,
trying.
$25 over at Sam's right now for a bottle.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
And so what they're doing, it's a lot of people are saying behind the scenes that it's it interferes with fair sales, or was what do they call it,
Fair trade.
competition or whatever,
Yeah.
competition bureau. And it's done in a way where it's leaving the competition bureau of really making any restrictions on doing that. So it's going to be interesting if that happens, because it's just going to make the prices of everything to go up, and especially these box chain grocery stores here in Canada, they'll be able to monopolize and the grocery store industry even
Well, that way
more.
that way your buddy Trudeau can then drop in some price controls and take control
Right.
of it in the Harris
Yep.
socialist fashion.
I was
Yeah.
I was just about to say
Yeah.
that's the same thing as what Harris wants to do.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
The only difference is Trudeau has already established himself as a dictator, whereas Harris will.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of Harris, I sort of watched that bit of that CNN thing. I thought it was a new game show on CNN called "Who Wants to Be a President."
Oh,
because the way
Okay, now that's funny.
the way the interview was, it reminded me a lot of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Dana was asking questions and gave her like A, B, or C answer, and I was almost waiting for Dana to say, "Do you want to call a friend?"
Oh,
And, and I thought it was a joke. Dana literally gave her answers to respond to, and even then, Harris screwed that up.
Wait, here we go. Let me ask the best one. I'll ask it to CT because he knows it so well.
Hmm.
You ready, CT? You be Harris. Madam Vice President, when it's cold outside, what is it?
you know it's cold outside when you go outside and it's cold.
Oh, very, very good. Oh, such inspiring words. Oh, my gosh. Oh, look at this strong, independent black woman. Yeah.
And with that too is like with Tim Wallace sitting beside her, like, what he reminds me of is that creepy relative or friend that you don't want to invite to the barbecue.
Yeah, I think that would clear him up pretty well.
And,
And it's funny because you've got Uncle Pervy who is now your president right now,
Mhm.
and then you have nephew Pervy, weirdo
Yeah.
Mhm.
who plays in his
Yeah.
basement walls.
But according to the media, he is the new kind of masculinity.
Yeah, prancing around on the stage. Get out of here! Get out of here!
Go.
Can you imagine what your grandfather would have said about him?
He would have beat him.
I am so
Yeah.
glad that and this is mean to say in a way, but I'm so glad that my grandfather had passed away before Obama was elected president. My grandfather would have lost his mind.
Well,
Yeah.
I believe that feller's a little late in his loafers.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. Like, and I've been noticing a lot on TikTok now, all these Harris influencers,
Oh, it's
How-
ridiculous.
and they're all like 19-year-old
Yeah.
kids, and how do they know? And, if you say something argument about, well, I don't think they literally they remind me of the kid that, oh, you're wrong. I'm going to take my ball and go home now, and it's
Oh.
just,
Well, I'm just going to
But-
remove you from the live because you're a conservative.
but what I find interesting is you get a lot of the Trump ones trying to do lives, and all of a sudden they're taking off lives because people are complaining or something, like they're being censored.
Yeah, isn't
compared
that weird?
to
Oh yeah.
all the other stuff. And I got another question for you guys. Who
Yes,
the
sir.
heck is this Jack Smith guy? He seems so annoying. He reminds me what we have here in the summer as a cluster fly.
So here's what Jack Smith is.
Oh, he's a cluster something, but it's a word I
Jack
can't say on the air.
Smith is a. So he was supposedly appointed as a special prosecutor. The only problem is he wasn't confirmed by Congress as a special prosecutor, so he's actually an illegal prosecutor.
Correct.
Who, for whatever reason, the courts don't just say, hey, dude, get out of here. You have no precedent to be able to prosecute anything. The only state that he can do anything in is New York, which is why he got kicked out of Florida. And they were like, no, you can't prosecute anything here. You're not an actual special prosecutor. the breakdown is he is simply a guy who suffers from Trump derangement syndrome that was appointed illegally by the Obama administration to investigate Trump.
Mhm.
Jack Smith, should Trump win, will be hauled away in irons.
I hope so.
Guarantee it.
Mm-hmm.
It should be a military arrest or something, because all the things that he's doing, to me, is, I could be wrong, is so, but it's electoral interference.
Well, he just filed new charges against Trump on a case that the Supreme Court told him you can't touch that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that makes, I laugh at that, because, like, even when the Supreme Court, which is supposed to rule on the law,
Yep.
that the Biden administration and that is just like ignoring that, like, shouldn't be ignoring it, because they're following the Constitution, correct?
Uh-huh.
And it just goes to show, and I'm surprised that it doesn't wake up a lot more people when they see how the Democratic Party is acting. Like, they show all disregards for the Constitution, and when you hear them talk about Trump and the Republican Party, and they're saying, "Oh, they're all racing that," what they're doing is just throwing everything what the Democratic Party actually stands for, trying to put that kind of was it that kind of thing on the Republicans, when they're basically just projecting what they really are onto someone else.
Pretty much.
Like, and you look at the history of the Democratic Party. They supported, or they backed the KKK. How many? I'd love to see
They created the KKK.
Yeah, and I would love to see someone do a deep dive down the rabbit hole. If they could look back at all the civil rights assassinations and everything, how many of the assassins or shooters or whatever are actual Democrats, and because
exactly.
because that'd be very, very interesting to see.
It's an interesting thing, and what's funny is that the Democratic Party has, in the last 30 years, pretended like they were not behind all of the dirty, dirty things that they were behind, and it's really interesting, and watching them do the flip and be like, no, it's the Republicans who did all of that.
Yeah.
Wink, wink. It's very, very weird.
It's so interesting, like, even with RFK, with Trump and that now, and how they're just, they pretty much ignored RFK, but now they're constantly attacking him, which I think is kind of funny, because it's bringing more support to the Trump and RFK, and that now more people are, even some Democrats are here and are starting to think, well, maybe I should support Trump and all of that as well. So, which is good. And it'll just be interesting to see what's going to happen, because what Harris is doing, and she's hardly doing anything, and Trump's working his butt off. And I'd be very, very suspicious and create an outcry if you see that Harris and Walz wins.
Yeah.
When you know damn well. And what I think is also interesting too is how was it those battleground states that all Democrat owned are refusing to take RFK's name off the ballot too.
Exactly.
And that, so
it's a weird thing, man. Big time.
Oh, absolutely.
Phil,
Absolutely.
Tell people how they can find your super cool stuff you make, man.
Most definitely. You can find my super cool stuff on Facebook at Original Crow Feather Healing Crystal Jewelry. I have pictures, videos of everything that I've made, some vending events I went to. And you can also find me on Instagram at Chief Crow Feather, and I have the same pictures and videos there. You could message me. Just let me know you're interested in my products, and if I can make something for you. And you can also find me down some of my products down where you all are at Country State Design and Common Ground.
Absolutely. Phil Allen, our Canadian correspondent, joining us from what will soon be the Great White Frozen North, enjoying his land of the Green New Deal and high taxes. Phil, we thank you very, very much.
All right, take care, everyone. Have a great week and stay grounded.
See you, buddy.
See ya.
All right, bye.
Oh man. So while we were talking, you guys brought up something, and I went down a little rabbit hole.
Oh, yeah?
And you were talking about Democrats being, and the number, wondering how many assassinations and all that stuff were Democrats. So I went down this rabbit hole, and I didn't find out that number or percentage or anything because that's being blocked out for some reason in the old searches. But what I did come across was some mass shooting information that I found a couple of things were very, very intriguing about it. And I bring this up because there is a huge push on automatic rifles or semi-automatic rifles, I should say. An AR is going, oh, they killed so many people and blah, 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 blah. Okay, well, let me give you guys a fact that's pretty interesting I just found in this deep dive.
Oh,
and I think you're going to love this. So from 1966 to 2022, there's been 441 mass shootings in the United States.
Okay.
All right. That's 1,569 deaths, 3,923 victims.
Okay.
Total. 12 mass shootings from 66 to 75. 170 mass shootings from 2013 to 2022. 95% of them, 0.7%, were male. Okay. 29% happened in the workplace. 24.3% happened in schools.
Okay.
And then you add in the concerts,
Yeah.
like Vegas, things like that, right? Or, somebody going postal, whatever. Average age of a shooter was 33.4 years old.
Okay.
54.1% of the perps were white.
Okay.
Here's the one. 75.1% of mass shootings, the perpetrators used a handgun.
Isn't that wild?
Not an automatic rifle or semi-automatic rifle.
Isn't that weird?
And I found that to be, when I saw that, I was like, what? 75.1%. That means less than 25%.
Yeah.
24.9% were done with this so-called rifle.
Yep.
And you're going after ARs instead of...
Weird.
Or not instead of, but you know what I'm saying? This is where that narrative just doesn't fit.
Yes. The other side that there is a statistic on is if you take that total number of mass shootings and you remove previous crime or gangland violence from it,
Yes.
it drops it by
Oh, yeah.
like 70%.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's this fun game where we declare something an MCI, mass casualty incident. But sometimes that's a bunch of gangbangers that smoke each other in a park and 10 people get shot. And you're like, whoa, it's a mass shooting. Well, no, it's actually not.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of individual shootings that all took place at the same time. And they were breaking it down with some hood crap because somebody was selling drugs or stealing cars or
So on and so forth.
etc.
Yeah.
It's very interesting because it's just more of seeing the classic game of let's manipulate the numbers to tell the story we want them to tell. And we definitely see that a lot with all kinds of stuff.
I just found it interesting.
Uh-huh.
When I meant to go down, I was trying to find out one fact and ran across that number. And I was like, whoa.
Whoa. Yeah.
That does not fit their narrative whatsoever, does it?
Nope.
2 clips I'm going to release on TikTok this week.
Yeah.
One is Phil and his game show comment,
That's fantastic.
and the other one is that right there. And I'm going to send them both to the pundit. But that's hilarious.
That's pretty funny. I like it. Let's just make up a narrative. It'll be all right.
Right. So, do me a
man.
favor.
What?
Talk to us about a couple of our fine sponsors.
Why, of course. So once upon a time, we had some fine sponsors. And then we went looking for some more. Are you that more? Are you who's going to join us next? Well, let's talk about our friends over at Smokin' Butts BBQ. If you like the greatest dry rubs and sauces that money can buy, then you need to check out SmokinButtsBBQ.com. You go out there and you find it, and you will get the greatest sauces and rubs that money can buy. Fantastic flavors, never any high fructose corn syrup, always gluten-free, never any MSG, and it will make your barbecue, your vegetables, even just a burger a million times better. Check them out. Order online at SmokinButtsBBQ.com. Now, when you rack that up, I want you to come by and see me at the gun store today. Black Flag Outfitters. We are hanging out at 203 Main Street in Winfield, beautiful downtown Winfield on 79. You can come in, come see me. We got guns, ammo, we got fishing gear, we got bow fishing stuff. We got a ton of bait in this week. Still trying to keep the fishing stuff flowing, even though the season's kind of wrapping up. But be sure to follow us on Facebook at Black Flag Outfitters to see that daily deal, which is going to get posted up there here about 11 o'clock when I get down there. That's always a good time. You can just come down and come see me, come see what I've got going on and what kind of fun's happening. For sure. We also want to thank our other sponsor, which is Safe Harbor Insurance. Now, Safe Harbor Insurance, you can find them on Facebook. It's Safe Harbor Insurance Winfield. And they are brokers, so they can go through and they offer insurance from like 20 different companies. Whatever it is you want to insure, cars, boats, houses, your business, let Dave and Holly help you to get the insurance you want and save you some money in the process. That is Safe Harbor Insurance. Check them out.
Yeah. What he said.
Yeah. Good.
I had to go to the bathroom, and then I decided to pop over next door real quick and give John the bird.
Well, good. I'm going to let you talk about stuff then for a second.
Oh, okay. Well,
just let me know when I vanish, because...
Oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you. There you go. See?
Okay. Thank you.
Forgot to switch over. So for those of you that don't know what happens here, see, it's really nice to be in a studio like this because, we drink a lot of coffee and a lot of stuff in the morning to be able to be here. That's why it's called Morning Java. And so what happens is, bladder failure. No, I'm just kidding. But it does cause you to have to, in 2 hours is a long time to sit here without running. So we can turn off the old video and one of us can run while the other one, can carry on. So that being said, next, if you're in the Troy area, next Saturday, the 7th, World League Wrestling will be having their next live event and TV taping over at the Race Wrestling Arena in Troy. Now, that's over there on the corner of Cherry Blossom Way and 3rd Street, which is across from the ambulance district and just down the street there from, Toyota. So, come on out. Doors open at 6. Bell time is at 7. We'd love to have you there. It's going to be a great show. A lot of, right now I think announced is like 5 or 6 matches. So it's going to be a great one. You don't want to miss that. Again, doors open at 6. Bell time is at 7. That is World League Wrestling, the company that came here with Harley Race. Harley needed, and so I went to Blue Line, and I have been completely satisfied with everything that they've done thus far for the last couple of years. And you can give them a call at 636-262-9486. Get yourself a free quote. It cannot hurt. Now, not only your lawns, but also, if you need a retaining wall built or a flower bed installed or whatever it is, the folks over at Blue Line Lawn Care are just immaculate at everything they do, and they're happy to come over and do all of this for you and take care of your stuff because they're just, they're just darn good people. So give them a call today, 636-262-9486. You can even find them on Facebook. So go follow them today. Yeah.
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 What he said.
Well, he said, yeah. Big plans for the week? For the weekend? Or
So guns, man.
are you going to work on a Monday just like me?
I'm probably going to work on Monday.
Remember back in the day when there wasn't 20 holidays in a month? And people they went to work. They didn't, the town that I grew up in was one of those towns where you couldn't buy alcohol on a Sunday. Everything was closed on a Sunday except for maybe a convenience store or something like that.
Yeah.
There wasn't 20 holidays in a month, of course, back then. And men knew that they had to go to work in order to pay the bills. You went to work. That's what you did. Nowadays, there's so many holidays. We have so many national holidays that it's ridiculous. And everybody wants to close for them. I had to actually ask my boss, are we open or are we closed? Well, it's a holiday. Of course, we're I don't know because I don't pay attention to that stuff. All I know is it's Monday, I go to work. That's all I know. So apparently I'm off on Monday and whatever.
Well, that's exciting.
Not really.
Well, there's that. Yeah.
Have we got more rain coming?
Not until Friday.
Not until Friday.
Nope. It's going to be nice and quiet until Friday.
I don't see anything above an 81 either.
No, it's supposed to be pretty.
I can deal with that. And then it drops down into the 70s. Is fall finally coming?
Probably not. Because typically
Think we get another splurge of...
Yeah. Typically that end of September, beginning of October is hotter than all get out. It'll jump back up.
And then it just drops.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a weird thing about Missouri. That is really weird how it does that. How it drops so fast or it raises so fast.
It's really kind of weird.
I don't know. Missouri is strangest state I've ever been in, to be honest with you. Well, New York was horrible. I could never. Anyhow,
it gets a little weird.
The people, it was a very big culture shock for me when I moved here. Number one, the barbecue was a culture shock, because this is just not barbecue.
No.
And the Mexican food, of course, was just atrocious. But not just the food, but the people. It was really weird because where I come from, and I have a feeling it was the same way in Tennessee for you. For some reason, people here feel like everything you say they have to read between the lines of.
Yep.
And what is he really saying? I think he's really saying this. No. I'm literally mean exactly what I just told you. There are no lines to read between. I've said it directly. I've said it succinctly. I've said it exactly the way that I meant it. Yeah, but I think what you really... Shut up. Stop. Where does that come from? Is that just a city thing that is attributed? Because it's even out here in the county, people do that.
I assume so.
It wasn't like that where I grew up. Was it like that in Tennessee where you grew up?
No. No, pretty much that's...
Because we're both transplants.
Yeah. I meant exactly what I said was pretty normal.
That was a culture shock for me, and I still am not used to it. It still is annoying. one of the greatest compliments I was ever given was, well, you know what? The one thing about CT is you may not like it, but at least you know where he stands. Okay, I'll take it.
That's fair.
So,
Yeah. A little weird.
so apparently there's a mask ban in New York, in a New York county.
Oh, you mean after there was a mask mandate, now there's a ban? That's cool.
And they've made their first arrest. That's insane.
I'm guessing that's...
Oh! I know the other thing I wanted to bring up today,
Yeah.
because this just came across too. Pelosi says she wants to grant citizenship and free housing to illegal immigrants,
What?
all on taxpayers' dime. Which brings me to one of the things I wanted to talk about. California. Governor Newsom.
Oh,
Did you see
no.
that crap for immigrants to buy housing?
No.
Okay, so he wants to give the first for immigrants taxpayer money to buy a home.
Okay.
Non-citizens to buy a home. Taxpayer money in California. Yeah. You can't make that up.
Well,
Kamala's state. Isn't that something?
oh, dude.
Nobody should be getting taxpayer money to buy a home. I don't care if you're a citizen.
That means there's too much taxpayer money.
That means there's too much taxpayer money. But yet they want more. Why do they want more? For these programs like this. This is exactly why.
That's weird.
So Pelosi wants to grant citizenship and free housing to illegal immigrants.
Oh. What could go wrong?
What could go wrong is that's how you buy votes and win an election when you're getting busted for illegal ballots.
Oh.
Kind of like promising the black population that you're going to take care of them so you get their votes for 50 years, but yet you've absolutely done nothing for them.
Oh.
Lyndon B. Johnson.
Oh. Well, there's that. Oops. Surely not.
Yeah, so.
That's yeah, seems like a real thing.
And then also in California, apparently, the state Senate passed a law requiring the hiring of illegal alien students.
What? How? How? How does that even...
I got nothing.
How does that... Do we... No! What are you guys doing?
And people wonder why I hate California so much.
It doesn't even make sense.
Number one, it's too many people. Number two, too many Democrats. Number three, dumb policies. Absolutely dumb policies. California has been crap since Reagan left.
Like... Sometimes when I hear of what the latest thing California passed, I always have to go Google it and make sure it's not a Saturday Night Live skit.
Dude.
And then I'm like, oh, that's real.
That's what I thought the CNN interview was a Saturday Night Live skit.
That was so bad.
Or no, not even Saturday Night Live. That was more like In Living Color.
Yeah. It was so bad.
Well, you have an Indian girl act pretending to be black.
Yes.
Then she was speaking somewhere, and all of a sudden she had an accent.
And it was a bad one. Oh, my gosh.
She's a homegirl, you know.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So you should vote for her because she's a home girl.
Yeah, okay. No. Hashtag pass.
Pass.
Absolutely not. She is so dumb.
Round that all off with the SAVE Act.
Oh, yeah. Talk about that SAVE Act.
So, the SAVE Act was passed a very close vote, 221 to 198, with every single Democrat opposing it. President Trump said that he would rather see the government shut down than allow Congress to pass the continuing resolution without this critical legislation. So, to use their words, it says the SAVE Act aims to amend the National Voter Registration Act of 1993 to enforce stricter voting registration requirements.
Yeah.
Under that legislation, voters would need to provide documentary proof of U.S. citizenship to vote in any federal election, which is a shift from the current law, which permits states to demand citizenship proof only for local and state elections. Now, explain to me why local and state elections you can demand it, but for federal you can't. How does that make any sense? If you were going to do that, shouldn't it be flopped?
Well, because it goes under a states' right issue. Because the states get to set the precedent on what is required to vote in their state.
Okay.
The federal has never said, even though it's clearly implied that only a citizen can vote, there's never actually been.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this then. Cannot a state require within its own boundaries that you must provide proof on a federal election?
But the problem
even
is,
without the federal saying
yes,
it?
But a lot of states refuse to.
On what grounds? They don't want to set that kind of a precedence?
They don't want to say, because you have states like New York and California that want non-citizens to vote.
Right.
And then you have states like Louisiana and Missouri where they're like, no, you have to show proof.
So Senate Democrats have objected to the bill.
Imagine that.
Of course they would. Quote, I just called up the SAVE Act on the Senate floor seeking its immediate passage. Now this is, I can't remember his name. Floor, blah, 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 blah. Doesn't say. So, quote, I just called up the SAVE Act on the Senate floor seeking its immediate passage to ensure that only U.S. citizens will be able to vote in November. Democrats objected, of course. There's only one downside to passing it. It'll stop non-citizens from voting, he wrote.
Wow.
Stopping non-citizens from voting, how is that a downside?
Well, they're counting on all the people they've trafficked into the United States to vote them back into office.
Well, so here's what's happening. Trump is calling on Congress to include the SAVE Act in the next spending bill.
Yeah.
So if you're going to play the let's dog ear game to get something passed, because we know that's what they do all the time. It's like, okay, that's how they do this bipartisan crap of crossing the aisle and saying, well, okay, we'll allow you to do this on this if you pass if you add this to it, or you add that. And well, okay, well, we'll do that if you'll add this. Okay, great. We'll do that if you'll add this to it too. And they play this little game. Well, if you're going to play the dog ear game, okay, let's add it.
Yep.
And that'll be on the next spending bill, is what he's trying to do.
Wow.
And he's willing to endorse a government shutdown if it's not
Well, absolutely.
in the next spending bill.
I mean,
which,
it means nothing. A government shutdown means absolutely nothing.
no, it means nothing.
So do it.
So the next spending bill is supposed to include now this, which is election integrity, and Harris's no borders policy. Which, here's the thing about her policy, is it's not an open borders policy, it's a no borders policy. And there's a difference.
Well, she's a big fan of it.
Now she's trying to run away from that. Say, no, that's not what she... It's kind of like the fracking thing. I know I said this, but I didn't say that. What? Huh? How does that work? Hey, but I'll tell you what, Democrats, keep buying into it because, you're suckered into the game real easy, you little sheep. And the other one, and I'm still seeing this, and it's so annoying. They are still on this 2025 agenda thing. Still, every day. No matter how much he has pushed himself away from the 2025 thing and trying to tell people, no, it's about Agenda 47. I have nothing to do with 25. I don't know. It's not me. I don't know. This little think tank over here did that. And if you look at it, 2025 is more about what the Democrats are trying to do, not what Trump wants to do.
It's pretty weird.
But yet they're still on this claiming that Trump and his 2025 agenda, or Agenda 2025. No, you have the words reversed. His 2025 agenda is Agenda 47, not Agenda 2025. There's a difference. If you get my wordplay there, it's. How are they still buying into that? How are you buying into stuff that's not
simple? Tell a lie, tell it enough until people believe it.
Well, and then pretty soon you believe it because you've told the lie yourself so many times.
Yep.
Isn't that crazy?
Yep.
I tell you what, if Republicans don't get out in droves on this election, it's done.
Oh, no question.
One of the things too that's happening right now is, and it's one of the things I really notice is right here in Winfield. I'm going to bring Winfield up.
Okay.
Do you realize that in Winfield you pay more for your water and than I do in Troy? I couldn't 3 times as much. The water bill here is 3 times more than it is in Troy. That's crazy. Weird. Well, in Michigan, it doesn't have to do with it here in Winfield. I just brought that up because it's happening everywhere. But in Michigan, they're into that whole green mandate stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Well, in Michigan, utility rates went on this huge rise after these green mandates.
Oh, you mean the Green New Deal's not saving people money?
No. It drove the price up.
Really? You mean the biggest scam in American history isn't saving the planet? That's crazy. It's almost like it was a giant lie.
Everything's been a lie.
Pretty much.
Everything they've said. Everything they've done
has been a lie. Without a doubt. Interesting. The Green New Scam. What if
the Green New Scam? Ha! I like it.
Yep. You could thank your lefties and some Republicans for that crap, as AOC got it slipped in.
Well, that's part of that whole. And I love this, the wordings that's being used. I'm going to fix the economy. Well, it's, the economy is so great under Joe Biden. He's done all this great stuff. But hey, I'm going to fix the economy on day one.
So which one is it?
Well, yeah. How does that make any sense?
Also, why have you not been doing stuff with the economy for the last 3.5 years? Because Mr. Potato Head has been your boss, meaning you could pretty much convince him to sign anything you wanted. Or maybe that's the problem you have. And that's why we're now in this situation.
Well, he's signed a lot of things since he's been in there that are crap. And one of the ones, too, that I saw was they're going, well, I don't know why you use this border czar name. That's never... Wait a minute. In your own administration's paperwork, the word czar is used. And it's been used for a long time.
We have the speech where Biden appoints her.
Border czar.
Like, it's a public speech at the Rose Garden, and she comes up and talks about taking charge at the border.
Yeah. You literally had the entire power. You were handed the border.
Yes.
Like, it was handed to you. This is your problem.
Here you go, deal with it.
You fix it. And what's been done? I don't think she's ever been there. Once?
So she went to a part of the border that nobody crosses.
Right. Once. But there's no border crisis.
No. But now she wants to build a border wall.
Whatever, man. You know,
Like, come on.
I don't know.
Weird.
I've had enough. But I'll tell you what, I want to thank everybody for tuning in today.
Yep.
See, we'll be back again next Saturday because, you know, it's what we do.
It is.
We're always here. We live here. It's kind of our thing.
Come down, see us at Black Flag Outfitters. We'll be down there for a while today. 203 Main Street. Come party, hang out with us. And we will see you guys next week. Be sure to follow us on Rumble. Traveling East Productions on Rumble. Find us there. This is the Morning Java Show. I'm Dodd. He's CT. Give it to him, buddy.
Stay awake, not woke.